everybody. I'm Teri Stiles, and we are in downtown Oxford at CFE Coffee Shop, right? And I'm with Claudio and Gino, the owners of CFE Coffee. Not very new, right? You've been here a while?
About 4 months now. We opened October 14th was our official opening day. And so Valentine's Day made 4 months, so just a bit over.
How come Oxford?
So I came out here because my dad's uncle moved out here. And he was looking to invest. He called me over to invest in like some properties and things out here. And we went and looked at some places. He ended up buying his own place, and I was out there helping him for a while. And then we've always wanted a coffee shop, himself and his wife, my sister. We loved the idea. We loved coffee, And we were like, oh, this would be a very fun thing to do, get into. So we started looking. I loved it out here in Oxford. Absolutely fell in love with the town, and I would come out all the time. And eventually we came across this place, and we were like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful, most perfect place to ever put a coffee shop. So yeah, we decided to go for it, and here we are 4 months later, a little over 4 months later.
And it doesn't hurt being so close to the trail, right?
No, the trail is beautiful. We actually have some flyers over there about the trail. We walk it all the time. It's awesome.
So do you live out here, or do you plan on living here?
So currently, no, we're in the Sterling Heights area, but my wife and I are looking to move out here. So hopefully very shortly. That also cut our drive in the mornings too, so it'll be nice to live so much closer.
Okay, speaking of morning, most of us in the morning have to have coffee. So how did this happen for you guys? How do you know what you need to buy? How do you pick out what the roast that you need, etc.?
So, we roast our own coffee, and it started kind of as a hobby for us, for myself and my wife, and then kind of just grew from there. So we've been around coffee for a pretty long time now, but not to a commercial extent. So this is relatively new for us, and we're still learning as we go. As far as for our espresso blend and our roasting, we use a Colombian, a Brazilian, and a Guatemalan.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
And so what does it take to do that kind of research? What have you guys been through?
It's mainly him, to be honest. I'm more of the front of the house. I create the drinks. I do things like that in comparison with him, but he does all the roasting and all the technical bean stuff. So
a coffee student. I think we're all coffee students. It's ever evolving, right? So tell us where you're located.
The address is 47 North Washington Street.
And you said you had to get up and come in here early in the morning. What time is it?
So we open at 7 a.m., but I'll usually be here around like 6 just to get everything ready, set up, get the machine ready and all that good stuff.
And so you said you opened 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of reception have you had in the community?
Oh, it's been nothing but amazing. And we didn't advertise. We didn't do anything. First day we opened, we just, people would come in and be like, oh my God, I saw you guys on Facebook. Oh my God. So I'd like to say we're a little more old school when it comes to things like that. We think word of mouth is the best advertisement that you can have. I love hearing somebody say, oh, my mom tried this place, or my daughter tried this place, said you should come in. Like, to me, there's nothing better than that. There's no advertisement better than somebody saying, oh, I really love this place, and you should come check it out, so.
And that's all I can say, too, is you have to come in here and check it out. We walked in, the doors were open because it's a nice day, unusual, and you could smell that coffee outside. I really want to say thank you for coming, and thank you for doing this to this building. It's beautiful. What did you have to do to change it?
So, it was a lot of renovating that we had because it used to be the old antique store. So it was carpeting, everything. So we painted everything, put in the new boards. So it did take us close to a year to finish everything up, but it was fun. It was good. We did most of the work ourselves, had some help from his uncles and stuff like that, but it was a good, nice team effort.
Are you going to move out here too?
Oh, absolutely. I love it out here. I absolutely love it out here. So.
Are you also from Sterling Heights area?
Yeah, we're very close to each other. We've grown up best friends since we were kids, so yeah.
Okay, well, welcome to Oxford officially. OCTV is going to welcome you here. Come on down. You're open Saturday and Sundays as well?
Every day, Monday through Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. And then Sunday we close at 3.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Come on down. It's so worth the trip down here. You can walk from the Pollyant Trail and follow the smell. Hi, everybody. This might not look familiar to everybody, but I am still downtown Oxford, and I'm with Michael Coebeille, correct?
That's it.
And Michael is co-owner of K-Blocks. So we are in the old wood chips building, but it's no longer that, so stop saying it. We're in K-Blocks. So where do we stand with you guys opening? And then I'm going to have you talk about the history of K-Blocks.
Yeah, as you look around, there's a lot to do here. We've done some incredible amount of work, like you see from our logo coming in, and we're bringing the personality and vibe of our restaurant in Washington down to Oxford, and we're excited. As you'll see, we have our typography wall, which the students from Romeo High School have done. So we really like to use people in the community. So they were students of my sister, and my sister is Kendra Knobloch. My brother-in-law is Brian Knobloch. They're the other owners. Now, Brian Knobloch eats, sleeps, and breathes barbecue. He's been an executive chef, a cook his entire life. He's been in catering, cooking, name it, the man's done it. And he's the one who was the brainchild behind the restaurant. So as you look around here, you're going to see our old hickory smokers. We brought in the wood design. We've kept it really rustic because we want a Texas-style feel up here in Michigan. So we're bringing that look, that feel, the design we have in Washington down to Oxford. So you're going to see a lot of the bones of Wood Chips Express, but K-Blocks is going to come in here, and you're really going to feel that family-owned small business that's going to fit perfectly here in town.
And truly is family-owned. And you started to tell me earlier, it started out as a brainchild with a truck, right?
It did. It was a Thanksgiving dinner. And my father, Ken, when he was around, was telling Brian, this food is just too darn good for just us to eat. Now, Brian, when he cooks dinner for the family, he'll have a smoker, a grill, homemade jambalaya, everything's from scratch. And he made a turkey that day, and it was so unbelievably good off the smoker that we sat down and said, let's do something with this. Food is too damn good for just us to have. And that spawned a food truck. So Brian and I did our research. We went to Pennsylvania, bought a trailer, went to Kansas City to buy smokers. Then we went to Texas. Then we went to North Carolina. We went back to Texas 2 more times to do research on trying to bring true, authentic Texas barbecue to Michigan. Then the food truck opened, and it's a beautiful food truck. It's right in front of our restaurant in Washington. Now it's just more of decoration. Because 1/8 of a mile away from Kendra and Brian's house opened up a restaurant space. And it was nice. So we went in and remodeled it from the floors to the walls to the ceiling, from a big smoker outside, a small smoker inside. And it really feels like when you walk in and sit at the bar, you're in a deep, dark part of Texas. And it's very warm. So right when you walk in, you're going to see our nice typography wall. You're going to see our nice wall from homemade craft drinks. We promote a lot of local breweries, small microbrews, from Detroit tequilas, Detroit vodkas, Detroit whiskey is what we really specialize in. And then it's barbecue and Cajun. And that's what you're going to see on our new menu more than anything else. Texas-inspired food, simple, ribs, brisket. We've actually brought jambalaya. We had shrimp and grits on our old menu. And now we're moving a new menu that's a little more fan-friendly. So you're going to see about 4 or 5 exciting new dishes. And believe it or not, our chicken wings are one of our most popular dishes right now.
And so what about your sauces or the barbecue sauce itself? Is that created by your chef?
Yeah, Brian created all 3 sauces from scratch. From our Romeo apple. Romeo's a big apple town. Our Memphis barbecue, which is our traditional. And then we have a pit fire, which has a little bit of a zip on it. And if you're there coming in, especially on the weekends, Brian's always trying something different. He was trying like a peach habanero. So he's trying to find like a really spicy, deep red sauce. But all of our barbecue sauces are on our table, so you can try all 3. And you can also take some home to go. So we have them bottled. Brian makes all of our rib rubs from scratch, which you can also grab a rib rub, pork rub, a beef rub, any type of seasoning you're looking for. We're going to help backyard smokers learn the craft.
Oh, nice.
And we also have done 2 years in a row a barbecue cooking class.
Beautiful.
So we've partnered with Brian's friend Bubba of Bubba's Catering, and those 2 get together, and they're teaching probably 75 people last time, about 60 the year before, the art of smoking barbecue and smoking meats, the art of smoking meats, from cutting ribs to preparing brisket, everything. From you can walk in with no knowledge and just buying it, ready to buy a smoker, to guys who've been smoking for 20 some years coming in and still learning. So we're really bringing in the community And then we brought people who specialize in whiskey and beer, and they came in and talk about the art of crafting and making your own homemade beers. So it's been a great experience.
Yeah. And so how about go with that? Do people just go in and get the meat, or is there beans and rice and that good stuff too?
Yeah, when you walk into K-Blox and you're going to say, oh, it's just barbecue. But you look on our menu and our appetizers are so fun. From pretzel bites to our loaded nachos. We brought candied bacon. We have 3 now smokehouse salads. So different types of salads. So vegetarians can actually have a good time here. So when you come into K-Blox, you're expecting barbecue. But what's amazing is we have Cajun food, we have salads, we have wings, pretzel bites, candied bacon. Tacos are a huge seller right now. And here we're going to bring a lot of the recipes that Patrick has had. We're going to bring the egg rolls back here. We're talking about the barbecue bowls to see how well they're going to do, what we're going to put on our spin, our twist on it. But you're going to experience barbecue in a whole different style. True Texas smoked with wood, smoked for hours. I mean, a brisket's going 14 hours. So when we run out, we can't microwave or do anything quick. You got to wait 14 hours. So we always tell people, come early for barbecue. And then when you come in, you're really going to get that vibe, not feeling like you just went into a place on a strip mall up in Washington, but you feel like you're going down south when you walk in, from the full bar to our catering options too. So what's really important to us is dining in's nice because we love to have our customers come in, but the graduation parties, the number of weddings we've done, work events, it's been overwhelming. And that's what we really want to bring to Oxford. Just come to us for catering your event, from your concerts, as I said, weddings, graduations. We're ready to cater just about any event. And barbecue is so easy to cater because you just put out a nice simple buffet, and whatever's left over, we bring boxes, and everyone can take a nice bit home for the ride home.
And everybody loves a barbecue. Talk a little bit about the smoking part of it, the wood that you use, or how do you choose what kind of wood you use?
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely smoke with wood, and it's a long, slow process. So our motto is always slow and low is the best way. And what you're going to get is briskets that are going to have that bark, that nice kind of crunchy layer on the outside. The ribs are smoked 2 to 3 hours until perfection. Brian makes sure everything rests at a certain temperature, but he also has his secret recipe, how he takes it out, what he wraps it in, how long it rests, because anyone can cook a great brisket, but it's those little touches that we learned, especially from Brian's history as a chef, but also talking to all these pit masters through Texas. And we went down 2 months ago and hit 12 barbecue restaurants in 4 days. I mean, it was a delicious trip. It was a lot of calories eaten, but you just learn. And they're so open about sharing their recipes, their secrets, because they just love the art of barbecue, because it's just so conversational. It's fun. And you come to our restaurant, it's loud. We have live music on the weekends because we just think it's an event that you should come in and eat, leave full, be entertained, and indulge. That's a great word.
Well, thank you for choosing Oxford. Everybody's very excited. I know you go on social media, and the social media hubbub is going crazy right now.
Yeah, we'd love to have folks come follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We're just starting our YouTube channel, kbloxbarbecue.com. We have a VIP club. I have a newsletter that comes out. So you're going to find out what musicians are going to be playing every weekend. We promote local musicians Friday and Saturday night, 7 to 9 o'clock. And then during the week, we do specials for folks. Wings Wednesday, Thursday's prime rib. And the prime rib has been so popular, we brought the prime rib French dip sandwiches on our permanent menu. And they're just amazing. So follow us, and you're going to see the videos, food specials, promotions, discounts, classes, and a lot of fun videos that we'll be posting all the time.
So even though you're not here yet, will you do catering into this area? So should we have people call you for catering?
100%. Call us to see how far we'll go, but we also do a lot of pickup. We've done weddings in Farmington, and if it's an event that's really special, we'll find a way to make it happen. So you can come in and pick up and go, or we'll have our staff come out and serve. We'll put out the sternos, the trays. It's beautiful. You'll see a lot of the pictures on our website. The pricing for catering is really affordable. You will not believe how affordable barbecue catering is. Yeah. And catering's just great because we just see so much activity, especially in Oxford. And I'll tell you, 90% of the calls are coming in saying, will you bring food to the boat? Will you bring it to the lake? Will you bring it to the concert? And if you call and you're hungry, we're going to find a way to get it to you, or find a way that you can come pick it up that day and have it ready to go for your party.
And telephone number again?
Yeah, our phone number is 586-281-6798. Our website is kblocksbarbecue.com. So come see us in Washington, 66880. We're at Van Dyke and 31 Mile, just off M53. We have friends that own restaurants and bars right down the street. They've been calling us saying, when are you opening? We're aiming for an April opening. Drive by, you'll see the sign. Check us out online. Go to kblocksbarbecue.com. Just type that in, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And if you have any questions, I'll write back to you that day. And if you love the place, come check out our reviews on Google Reviews, Yelp, and see what the food is that you're missing out on. And you're going to come see the food that's coming to Oxford. And it's going to be amazing.
I can't wait for it to get here. Do what he said and try it out. And then let us know at OCTV.
Hello everyone, I'm Jebediah Calhoun. I'm here with OCTV. We're at the Legacy Center for the Oxford Planning Commission. We are here for the Master Plan of Oxford. They're doing a walkthrough. They have quite a few boards with quite a few prompts, and they're looking to get residents of Oxford's opinions about the Master Plan. So come with me, and we're going to talk to a few residents of Oxford and a few people up behind the Planning Commission to get some input about today. Hi, John. Would you please tell me how being a resident of Oxford and also being on the Planning Commission affected how you proposed ideas for the master plan?
Well, I've been a resident of Oxford for 35 plus years. Had a chance to come and go between job-related activities and evenings and the weekends and things to understand Oxford. I was fortunate enough to be on the township board. This will be my fourth year. There is an opportunity this fall to run for re-election. I'm also on the Planning Commission, also sit on the Ordinance Review Commission, and I was asked to help and be on the steering committee for the master plan.
Perfect. So what do you personally hope to come out of the master plan? What are you looking for?
The master plan is updated every 5 years, and this is a tremendous time for Oxford because of the sheer growth that we have in the community. We have the growth potential on 24 out by the Myers area, and we have a lot of new development that wants to come in and reclaim property as well as produce new subdivisions. So the master plan is an understanding with the township, the folks that live in the township, some of the outside communities of what they'd like to see and what we'd like to do within the township.
Perfect. And are you happy with this new, like, it seems to be becoming quite modern, quite urban. Are you okay with this? Do you like where that's headed?
Well, Lake Orion's getting full. People are moving out north, so we don't really have a choice. It's how the community decides to handle the interest in moving out here, whether it's for business, commercial business, or whether it's for subdivisions or individual homes.
Perfect. I think that's perfectly said. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about the master plan?
Well, we're trying to get the community out here today to get input from people who just walk through here, and we have a lot of facilities here to explain about what we have here. We have our wonderful horse country out in the northern quadrant. We have a lot of folks that live on the lakes. We have a lot of recreation here with the parks and recs. The Pollyanna Trail is fortunate to run through. So when you sit and you factor all those things together, we have to come up with a visionary plan that will help the future development.
Yeah.
And there is a need for retail businesses in the township. And I think we need to make sure that what we plan today for the next 5 years and in the future, we all can work together and all can be happy within the township with whatever we have, residential, commercial up north, or our retail.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Nold.
Thank you.
Of course. Hi, Megan. Would you please give me a brief walkthrough about what we're doing today?
Sure. This is an open house for the Oxford Township Master Plan. Working with a community engagement steering committee, they felt that there were certain issues that were a bit too complicated to ask in a survey. And so they suggested that we have an open house here in the 925 Legacy on a Sunday morning to get as many people as possible to come to talk to us about what regulations they feel the township should keep, what regulations they feel the township should change, looking at future development and preserving open space, which techniques would be best used by the township, and also to do some education about what a master plan is and how it can impact the surroundings of everybody in the township.
Yeah, for sure. And I understand that you've been working very closely with the Planning Commission behind the scenes, not only on this open house, but on the master plan itself. Could you give me a quick little, a little debriefing of what the master plan is?
Sure. The master plan is a document that guides the vision for the township over the next 10 to 20 years in terms of land use. And that means what goes on, what type of building or what happens in the building, how that happens on a piece of property, and also how it interrelates to other properties. The challenge in Oxford Township is that in the next 10 years, there will probably be 2,000 new housing units, and where those will be and in what manner, and how that's also managed with traffic and utilities and open space are issues that we're talking about to the Planning Commission.
And what would you say, you and the Planning Commission, what consensus is the biggest issue that you're tackling? Would it just be the influx of housing developments?
I think it's managing new development, specifically housing, but also looking at looking at retail, because we've heard from residents that there's a demand for also different retail and more services. Also looking at whether the township could attract jobs here. For people who live here to work in, and that would minimize traffic rather than everybody trying to go down M24 or up M24 to get to where they're going. But also, as I mentioned, M24, traffic and roads are a big issue. And it's a tough issue for the township to take on because the road commission controls the roads, but there's not something that it is something that the township can work in concert with others and have plans that they present to and share with and collaborate with the agencies that control the roads.
Perfect. And why do you think it's important for the residents of Oxford to come out here tonight and this morning, I suppose, and voice their opinions?
Because the Planning Commission and the Township Board want to hear what residents think and business owners think, and you know best what's going on every single day.
Yeah.
And so that input is so valuable, and as a 20-year career in planning, I've seen the most creative ideas come out of residents and events like this.
Perfect. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I just want to thank you for being here and documenting this, and I hope that you can interview some other residents and get their opinions too.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you for being here and putting this on for Oxford. It's really important.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for the interview.
Welcome.
Hello, James. Could you please tell me why you came down for the walkthrough today?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually moved here only a couple years ago, but my wife grew up in the area, and so we moved out here to build a house and raise our family here. And you know, there's a lot of reasons that we moved out here. It's just smaller town feel, lots of space, lots of nature, and starting to see that there's a massive increase in development. And so we wanted to have our voice heard about how the township should be handling that, because it's really a shame to see things change drastically, and obviously change is inevitable, but we wanted to make sure that we could be a part of shaping how that's supposed to be and what the future looks like, so that Oxford stays as great as the city is, township that we moved into. So
For sure. And if you wouldn't mind telling me, what do you hope to come from the development?
Sure. Yeah, my hope is that there's a stronger emphasis on preserving trees and nature around developments. Again, that's part of the beauty of the whole area, and the privacy and just the natural beauty of it. And so maintaining as much of that natural beauty as possible would be the goal.
For sure. And do you think that your interests are well aligned with the greater population of Oxford?
I think so. I think everybody that I've talked to in the area has a very similar feedback and similar hopes, and we obviously would love for more people to move to Oxford to enjoy the same things we enjoy. Just want to do it in a sensible way so that everybody can enjoy it for what it is, and not what other cities and neighborhoods are around us. So
I couldn't agree more. Do you think the Planning Commission and do you think that your complaints, and not necessarily complaints, but your suggestions are falling on deaf ears? Would you say that they're listening?
I think events like this are great, because I feel like that's the general impression, is that usually you're not being heard. And I think events like this do go a long way. Now, the real question becomes, is there action after that shows that they heard what you had to say? So really, it's kind of do everything you can to provide your inputs, and then you just have to keep them accountable and make sure that they actually follow through. So.
And you're doing a great job by being here, you know?
Thank
It's a great turnout, actually. Quite a few people have shown up, and so, you're doing your part, which is all that you can do.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add, not just to me, but people watching the board?
Yeah, I think basically, like I said, this is one example of many ways to go out and be a part of your community and take part in sharing your feedback and your opinions and making sure that your voice is heard. So whatever it is you're passionate about, go to things like this and make your voice heard.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Well, everyone, that was the open house for the master plan for the Planning Commission. We had quite a beautiful turnout. People are very passionate about their town. The biggest consensus that we heard personally was that everyone was in favor of preserving the natural beauty of Oxford, the parks and the trails that go throughout it. And I think that's a beautiful idea. Oxford is known for horse country, beautiful, beautiful nature. And I'm glad that everyone wants to save it and protect it. Kudos to everyone for showing up, and kudos to the Planning Commission for having an event, Thanks to Megan and Mateo for hosting this open house and getting everyone down here. The community really, really dug it, They really liked this open house. They liked getting to know the Planning Commission and talking to them. And the Planning Commission, liked listening to it. So it was a beautiful event all around. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Jebediah Calhoun with OCTV.